On to Lesson 4 of Chapter 1, Module 1, the exercise set. And a quick review, we said this is an ordered pair, a set of coordinates. The x value always comes first. The y value is second. That's why it is an ordered pair. The x has a special connotation. This is referred to as the domain. And the y is the range. Now, if the x element in your ordered pair is only used once, that is, it's not repeated somewhere, its specific value, then it is a function. If it's used more than once, it's not a mathematical function. Okay, so a function is a special kind of what? And we'll give you a moment, read these through, just put 1 through 8, fill in your answers, and we'll pause and we'll check them. All right, this one is a relation. Now, for number 2, in any function, each member of the domain, which is the x, is paired with only one member of the range, then that is a function. For any function, the set of all inputs, or the first value, is called the domain. And these generally are referred to as the x values. For any function, all sets of outputs or second value is called the range. And these would be your y values. Now, we might also think here, and again, I'm not super sure what they're looking for, but the inputs, the domain values or x values, are often referred to as the independent variable. While the range is referred to as the dependent variable. Okay, and again, we're not super sure what they're looking for, but we've covered all the bases. For number 5, now the domain is on the x-axis, the range is the y-axis, and this is read f of 3. And that special test we mentioned in our lesson is the vertical line test. Okay, let's look at a few more. Now, here they're asking is whether these relations, which are correspondence, are a function. Well, this is your x, or first value input. There's one line only from each one. Now, even though the c is used twice, that's okay. The x element's only used once. So this is a function. Now, in number 10, notice there are 2 lines coming from 6. So the 6 is used twice. This is not a function. And here we have the girl's age, and in terms of months, only one line coming from each of the first input values, which are the x. So this is a function. Here again, only one line coming. So this is a function. Now, here we're looking at celebrity and birthdays. Are there any double lines going? No, each celebrity is unique. They're going to have a birthday. This is a function. Here we have predators and preys. How many lines coming from each one? Just one. This is a function. States and neighboring states. Texas has quite a few lines coming from it. This is not a function. All right, let's go to the other side here a little bit. We're not going to be able to do them all, but here we're looking to see what would the domain be. Well, the first element in each set. And you would put that in what we call roster notation. And I would do it this way. Domain equals, then a brace, and just list your elements. -3, -2, 0, 4. Now, since the domain elements are not repeated, this is a function. If they were repeated when we wrote the roster notation, we would only write it once, but we would then note that it's not a function. And then the range, again, is done in a similar way. If an item is repeated, 3, 5, 4, -10, no. So you would write each one out. And that would be true for all of these. Now, one that I'd like to do in my little remaining time, I want to keep these down to about 10 minutes, is determine by looking at the graph, are they functions? And they say yes, and they are saying it right here. These all pass the vertical line test. Well, if we have an x value that is, well, this would be our x value of 1, what would our y value be on all of these? So we would go to our x value is 1. What is our y value? -2. If our x value is 1, so again this would be 1, and this one, there's 1, we go down, our y value is -1. Now how about if our y value is 2 on these? Our y value is 2, so we go to 2, and what would our x value be? 4. And that's how these are done. Again, we're not going to do them all, and this is just a little kind of practice that we have available at the end of each section. Remember, all of the odds are in the back of the book, the answers. And you, of course, will have your practice, your quiz me, and then later your test.